Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month for the month of March tarot oracle reading, and Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Pisces, we all have a little bit of Pisces in us somewhere. Where is Pisces on your birth chart? That's where it would show up for you. This is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and that is the bottom of the deck. And oh no, the devil. All right, well, that's quite the start. So Pisces, we're dealing with the temptation here, it looks like. That's the overriding energy right now for this reading. So the devil is about temptation, and this it features these lovers, because if the devil's going to tempt you, he's going to tempt you with something you really want, something that's really shiny and something you really, would like to have. So here it is, two lovers, but they're yoked to each other, and then they're chained to Saturn's box. And so this energy, the devil is coming in between them. He's haunched on this box, and it's representing animal instinct. So this is talking more about lust than love, and that's the energy we have. Someone is lusting after someone, and they're tempted. Okay, Pisces, it looks like it's going to be quite the reading. We do have, the devil wants temperance. I was just going to say, I was going to cover this with the energy of the next card, because the devil is never going to tell the truth. And so God's covering this for you, Pisces. This is awesome. So this is saying that there's an earth angel energy here that the devil wants, but God's saying, no. This is someone that's on their path. God, there's a lot of people in the Bible. It says there's 144,000 angels that come to earth in human form, and they are here to implement God's plan and make the world a more beautiful place. And so a lot of people feel that this card represents that energy. So the temperance card represents being patient and having like the right attitude to stay on your journey. And I feel like the devil would really, really like to corrupt this earth angel, but God's saying no. And so this is, the earth angel is adding her special alchemy to the pool of universal waters. Her right foot is in there, and she has her left foot grounded on the earth, and where her foot is grounded, there are flowers blooming here. So this is saying that she's staying on her path to glory, and she's not going to be tempted by the devil. Not today, devil. You'll have to find another day, I guess, another angel, whatever. So this is talking about someone, though, has been in this energy, Pisces, is saying that there's some sort of energy here that you've been in where there's been temptation, or something's happened here. And so this is saying that this is your internal forces. And so this represents that when you're saying to yourself, you'll know it's your internal forces, because you'll be saying to yourself, what if this happens? What if they do that? What if, what if, what if? And so the what ifs are the internal forces within you. You do have control of those. And this is talking about having a dark night of the soul and climbing up to the top of a mountain so that you could isolate yourself. And then the hermit, when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star, which is his guiding light, and has the advice from God how to move forward from there, then he comes down from the mountain and he puts into action what he learned. And so this is talking about the victory. So this is the element of fire, and actually the earth angel is also, this is representing Sagittarius energy, the element of earth, the element of fire. And so these wands, the Six of Wands, represents that you have returned victorious from a battle, and I feel it was a struggle with this energy here, Pisces. And so this is talking about being victorious, and the reason why you're victorious is you were able to rein in your emotions And, even the people in the back here that maybe were disgruntled and trying to compete with you, they are even having to admit, yeah, they deserve to be a leader. They managed to get into a leadership position. So this is representing victory. And this is talking about what you went through. So this is a dark night of the soul energy when there's, this person is carrying a very heavy load. And this load is talking about, like, the wands represent actions of yourself and others. And so sometimes, like, these are the seeds that we plant with our thoughts, and then we bring them into action and other people's actions. And this is talking about, this represents your harvest that you're bringing home. But unfortunately, it seems like you're carrying the burdens of others as well. So this is saying you're almost there. But see, this person can't see that they're almost home, because this is such a heavy load, and it's in front of him. So this is talking about not being able to see the forest for the trees, which means being so caught up in the detail of life that you don't see the big picture anymore. So this is talking about it's time to put some burdens down here. Now this energy can represent, some of these could be your harvest, and they could be heavy because they're laden with the fruit of your labors. And you want to get that home. But if you're carrying any burdens that belong to other people, you need to put them down now and just leave them in the field. They can come and pick them up on their own. The universe is trying to bring some sort of justice in here, and that means that karma's on its way. And if you're still hanging out with any people that put this burden on you, you're going to get hit with their karma as well. And that's why maybe it's taking so long for shift to change right here, is because you're still holding on. So this is saying, any burdens that don't belong to you, put them down in the field now, and just let them know that they need to pick them up. And this can also represent something that wasn't like something, that wasn't a good move or anything. Like, this could represent, say, like you purchased a house and it was the perfect house, and you've lived there like for 5 or 6 years, and you really enjoyed it, and it's been really good for you. But now your circumstances have changed and you want to move on, but maybe the market is soft and it's more challenging to sell it. So it's an asset, but it's a burden for you, because it's keeping you where you are. And so there's all sorts of solutions to this problem, and it's just like, you need to get home and sort through everything and figure out what you're going to do, and that's what basically going up to the mountain means. So if you're victorious with that, put down any burdens. That's the first step. Put down any burdens that don't belong to you. Just drop them in the field there. And then this is talking about a Page of Cups coming in. So the Page of Cups represents communication. And pages used to work for the king and queen. Generally around the age of 7 to 14, they would begin, depending on how mature they were. And they would come from the surrounding families, so higher, upper class families that were well educated. And they would work for the king and the queen in the court. And they would, if they were really good at what they were doing and they were still there when they were 21, if they could afford a horse, they might even be considered for knighthood, and then they would be going far and wide to deliver messages. So the main task that they have was delivering communication within the palace walls, and this communication is about love. And so the cups represent love, and quite often it's romantic love. Having said that, it can also be love of other people, or love of your pets, or love of your country, that kind of energy. And it can also be a love of something you want to do or want to be. And so this is this Page of Cups recognizes that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's very focused on this cup. So it's saying that someone is passionate. The wands represent passion and the energy of fire, and they're passionate about a certain particular fish from the ocean, and that's who they've got their focus on. So this is saying either you have your eye on someone in matters of love, or they have their eye on you. And then we have, and so the communication in the old days, of course, would be in person. Now the communication could be in person, but it also could be in the form of a phone call, a text message. It could be a letter in the mail, an email. This could be on social media that you get messaged, or you go to an event posted on social media and you meet someone at that event, and it's, you know, this perfect person that you have your eye on, that kind of energy. Also, if you watch the news, even for 5 minutes a day, just to get an idea what's going on at the top, that energy, what's happening at the top, is generally happening on to a lesser degree to the people in the you know, underneath the people that rule the world, and then or the government, actually. And so this is talking about the Two of Pentacles is talking about being very busy. This can represent like multitasking a lot. It can represent like the kind of energy of, you know, maybe having two jobs and juggling the schedules of 2 jobs. Or it could be maybe going to school and also having a job to pay for it, that kind of energy. And multitasking is a good skill to have, but you have to be careful not to multitask to the point where there's more quantity of work than quality, because then you could end up having to do things over again. And this is like, this could go on for a long time. And so it gains momentum. And so you really want to be you know, careful that you don't multitask so much that you burn yourself out and then your work is suffering and you don't end up crossing the finish line. This also can represent the energy of someone who, this card says, juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And we do have the devil here, so there must have been some sort of temptation coming in there. And then we have, okay, look at this. We have this energy of being very disappointed in your love life. That's basically what it is saying, because someone was juggling the morals. And so maybe while you were busy at work, your partner was busy at play, that kind of energy. So there's 3 cups here, and there's different scenarios that this could be, and these could apply to a romantic situation, or also situations, as I said, of something you love to do or be. So it could be a business partner, that kind of energy if it's not a romantic love. Quite often that's what this represents, because we do have the lovers here as well. But so this is representing, it could be like you've had just 3 situations where it just didn't work out, and the universe is, it's saying, hey, take 1 more cup, give it another go. You're too young not to you know, to be sitting here under the tree disappointed and giving up on love. And he's like, no, I don't want any more cups. If it's any more of the same old shift, I am not up for it. I can't do it. And then it could also represent having given someone 3 chances, and they're asking you, can I have 1 more chance? Just give me 1 more chance. And you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. Could be also the energy of a third party in where there should be couple. And this is about like juggling the morals. So someone stepping outside the relationship and being in a place of, you know, where there's a third party, and being dishonest with the person that they're with. And sometimes that even can extend to the point where there's a gift coming in the form of a baby, but it would be with, you know, with the juggling energy here, not with you. And so this could be you sitting under the tree because this is your partner that strayed, or you're the one who strayed. And this is talking about the passion. And a baby is always like a gift from God, but when they're born out of wedlock in a situation like this, it can really represent an energy of feeling burdened by that energy, of course. I'm getting really, really stuffed up, and I wasn't before I started this reading. So I'm just feeling like someone has been crying a lot. There's been a lot of tears falling. And we have the 4 of Pentacles energy coming in. So the 4 of Pentacles is saying, yeah, like if this has caused a separation, or maybe even a divorce if you were married, this could be like having to split assets, and then having, like, on top of that, like having your foundation shifting. But this card here says it's the 3 levels of making money. And, you know, the Pentacles do represent, you know, health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. we're seeing that in the world right now. Like, look at all the people at the top, the elites that have like the looks, they have the power, they have the money, they have, the talent, everything's going for them. And yet, look at the choices they've made. So, a lot of them are more unhappy than someone who's really poor. And this is talking that you still do have a strong foundation for for having a good lifestyle. This is saying you have a strong foundation, but it's safe money, and it's kind of like playing it safe because you have a lot of bills and that kind of energy and way less money than you used to before. And then this represents going for your heart's desires, and then your crown and glory. And your crown and glory is when you're on this path. When you're on this path, the universe and God will conspire to make sure that you have what you need, but you have to stay on this path. And so if there's been some sort of juggling of morals and temptation in that, and you've been caught up in that, it's time to put that burden down and let it go. Like, get out of the situation now. Basically, cut your losses, get out. And this is talking about this person has his back turned to the city, and this can represent an energy of, where you, somewhere where you're really comfortable. It could be where you were raised or whatever, and with the people that, you're comfortable with. And it's saying you need to be able to get to your heart's desires. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone and not play it small. And this is sometimes talking about being, having a shortfall here of money because of not being willing to take any calculated risks. You don't want to, when it comes to money, you don't want to be taking just risks out of the blue. But to get to the heart's desires and the crown and glory, you have to be willing to risk taking some risks that to have the opportunities presented. And so this is talking about not playing it small and missing opportunities. So we have, you do feel, this is an energy, you do feel proud of yourself. Like, this is a very proud rider here. And this is talking about, you are victorious, and you're noticing people are now, treating you differently, more like a leader. This is representing your abundance and self-worth, and you recognize that there's a lot here that is, of value. Having said that, you're kind of like burdened down by the parts that are part of this energy, and so it's time to put that down. And then this is talking about the communication in your early life, and maybe you might have had parents that were divorced or something, and you said, I'm never going to get divorced, and now you are, and it's like you're having trouble getting past it. And so this is talking about like when you got married, you felt like this was the one, and this is the only one you could see, and you just are having a hard time accepting this. And this could talk about the juggling of morals, and it rocking your emotional foundation, that you just really didn't see it coming. And this is your creativity, romance, and children. And this could represent, you could be pregnant and your partner may have walked away from you for someone else. Or this could be your partner strayed and they've created a child and he's leaving you to go be with that person instead. It's that kind of energy. This is actually a gift. This is talking about you have a strong emotional foundation here to be able to get your act together. And so this is saying you need to heal from this before you begin even the thought of another romance. It's about really getting to heal yourself first. This is really interesting because there was a reading that I did, I can't remember which sign. It might have been Sagittarius or something. It was in the last of these, and it had the same sort of energy. And I feel like that a lot of that energy is happening right now because, for one thing, we just had the new moon in Pisces, and it's like kind of really listening to your intuition now. And we had Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury went direct yesterday. And now today is the equinox. So where the days and the nights are even in length. And so we're starting to move into this spring energy. And then on March 6th, Venus, which is in charge of love, moved into the sign of Pisces, into this sign of Aries. And this makes people way more assertive in matters of love. So, there's a lot of planets that moved into the sign of Aries, a lot of astrological influences right now. We had 2 eclipses. We have a lot of planets shifting that from places where they've been in the years before. And then we have those files coming in, which is a lot of people are feeling like the rug was pulled out from underneath them. And we have the war in Iran. So it's like if you're feeling a little unsettled, you're not the only one on the planet. But a lot of people are making choices right now to move forward. If you want to know more about that energy, I did a playlist for every sign. In the new moon, full moon playlist, you can find eclipse energies for that happened at the end of February, beginning of March. And also we moved into the year of the fiery horse energy, which is affecting a lot of people. And this energy you can also find in a playlist that I did on, it's a separate playlist for the new year, month by month, and the Chinese New Year month by month. And there was even a Valentine's Day, a series of readings there on that. So check those out, because it's a lot of, that energy is easing off a little bit now, but it has had a huge effect on people. So if you've been having kind of a wild ride, it could be because of that energy, and it may give you some clarity as to your situation. We have the Hierophant coming in here, and the Hierophant is representing traditional structure in the third dimensional, coming from the spiritual realm. And so this is, if you're a religious person, it could represent the energy of like the Pope, a cardinal, a bishop, gurus, that kind of, someone you look up to from the church energy or some religious energy. And this can also represent, on a spiritual level, you might be someone who meditates and goes inward and, goes directly to God with no intermediary. But that energy is coming down onto the planet here, and and we're seeing that happening in the news at the top. And so this energy is saying that the traditional structure is in the 3D would be the legal system, the court system. And so the Hierophant is responsible for bringing the justice from the judgment on the spiritual realm down to planet Earth through the legal system. And so he has his right hand in the form of a blessing, and this is representing your external forces. So you don't have the control over the external forces that you do over the internal forces. You can't control what people say or do, and you can't really control a lot of what's happening in the world, but you can control your reaction to it. And so you just want to recognize that and stay strong in that energy. And then look at this, we have a new cup of love coming in. And, you may not feel that you're ready for it, but this may be saying that it's coming in when you are ready. And so calm down, like your life isn't over. You're not going to be sitting under this tree for the rest of your life. This is actually in your, the position of your partnerships and commitments and marriage. So there is going to be, then a Knight of Cups is going to be delivering another cup. And this one is more like the energy of, the knight in shining armor that we read about in romance novels, where there's a happy ending, that kind of energy. This is the blessing coming in once you clean this up. And you maybe already have cleaned it up, because we start off victorious here. So this is just telling the story of what's been happening to you. And maybe now you're already at the position where this new love is ready to come in, and someone has their eye on you and they're on their way right now, and because you went up to the mountain and you healed. And this is talking about the transition. So this person is standing on the precipice of change, basically. He's standing and looking at the distant horizon, and there's ships sailing by. I know this looks like it might be sand, but it's actually just the way the sun is shining on the water. And the ship sailing by represent he wants an adventure. He wants to go somewhere new. It's time to move forward. That's the kind of energy. And so quite often this can also represent leaving, being a couple and being single. So I feel this is saying you've already made that decision to move out of that relationship, and you are in the you are thinking of making this transition, or you have made this transition, and or you're about to make it any day now, kind of energy. It's coming in the future here. And this is conception. So this is saying, yes, this has been launched already. So this is confirming that you already made this decision, and perhaps this new love is coming in. This could represent 2 or 3 years. This could represent months, whatever it does for you. And this card also, the 8 of Wands, it's talking about a new project being launched and coming, like it's already on the way. It's already, you know, these wands have been launched and they're going to land at some point soon. Having said that, this also is represents for me conception has taken place. So this energy here that I was picking up could be that there's a baby on the way, and I feel that it's that it was your partner that was straying, and that the baby is out of your couplehood, and that's why you've made this decision. And it's a strong decision for you to make, because you're having a lot of new energy launched your way. This is in your, this is about your higher learning and, you know, learning about life, basically. And this is an energy, you're single now, and perhaps this cup is coming in now and it's been launched here. You may not have met the person yet, but they're on their way in some way. And you have also, this is saying that you're willing to stand for what you want, and for that you know you deserve to have passion in your life, and you did put those burdens down to make room. And so there's 7 here. And so this is the one that you're protecting your heart with this, and you're saying I know what I know. Now that I know what I know, I am going to stand up for myself. Conviction beyond a doubt. No doubt I am standing up for this. I deserve this passion in my life. And anyone who tries to interrupt that from me, and this is talking about how you won. And now even these people here are saying, okay, we have to admit this person's a leader. They may do it grudgingly, but they have to admit it. And this is you standing your ground. And it's interesting because this person has one shoe on and one boot on. And so this can talk about this energy of being straddled between these two worlds, of still being single, and this new energy coming in. And then let's see what happens next. Oh, look at that. See, this is representing that energy there. Now, these people, this represents immature competition. This is actually my Mean Girls card. So the Mean Girls card is just representing immature competition. Think about narcissistic cheerleaders. They're at a cheerleading event and they can see the other team is better than them, but they don't care. So they try and do really sneaky shifts so that they can win, because they would win. They're willing to do whatever they have to win. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will pull some strings behind the scenes if they can to make sure that they do win. And so this is talking about people who have not learned yet that competition is really within yourself. It's always about you being a better version of yourself every time you go out there. And that instead of looking at the competition as someone you're fighting with, it could be something that inspires you. So if you see that they're doing something better than them, then watch what they're doing and learn from it. And then when you go out, the next time you go out there, and you try to be at least 1% better every time. And when you have that kind of attitude, what happens is you start really becoming very accomplished, and with that attitude. And so this is talking about when you recognize that the competition is really within yourself, like being able to keep your mind disciplined so that when you're under pressure, you don't mess up. and then, you know, sabotage yourself. And you learn from the energy of the competition instead of being intimidated by it. And then this is talking, so this is the official card of marriage. So, you know, this new person coming in for you, this is the knight in shining armor. There could be a lot of competition for this person. But he's only got his eyes on you, or she's only got her eyes on you. And this is talking about having this beginning of fulfillment when this comes in. That eventually, like, you may be dating this person, you may just be about to meet them. That Mercury has been retrograde, and actually, as I'm doing this reading, it's the 21st of March, and we're in this equinox energy, and Mercury went direct, so communication is being way more easy and readable. Like, for instance, but if you're feeling like a lot of energy right now tonight, this is like, I feel a lot of people are. It took me 4 hours to upload the last video that I made for the Aquarius energy. And that reading was so intense. I posted about it because there's some ancestors on the other side that are not happy. And as soon as I did that reading, it was like, no, you have to drop everything now and look up because they weren't, it was like an intense energy. The ancestors on the other side needed someone to say what they wanted said. So I sat with it, and I did, spent 2 hours instead of doing the readings, figuring out what these ancestors wanted, writing it out. And I posted it. And then it took like 2 hours for that video to upload. I had to do it over and over and over again. And I knew it was literally like this energy right here. And that because I'm looking, other people's videos were uploading. And I know that YouTube did have problems because I looked it up with the uploading. But other people were loading their videos. So I just persistently kept doing it until it did upload. And so that's why now your reading is coming in a bit later. But I was determined that I'm not, whatever the energy was from the Aquarius reading, it was like really important that I just, do that first. And then clear that energy. And as soon as I cleared that and got that posted, then all of a sudden, yes, now my my video for Aquarius uploaded. But I'm not lying when I say, because I'm looking at the clock and it's 7 o'clock at night now, my time. And I started uploading that video at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and went through this major process. So I don't feel that Mercury in retrograde is quite done yet. But having said that, on the 23rd coming up here, that's just in 2 days, the North Node energy, which is, the light in this lantern, is actually joining Mercury. And I believe it's in the sign of Aries. And so this energy, it's only for a short period, but they're together. And that might be a really good opportunity for getting some information that you need coming in if you're having those kinds of issues as well. And so it was frustrating, but I was like determined, no, I'm uploading this video. And there was a lot of resistance, and sometimes that happens. And so you recognize the timing maybe wasn't right to upload it at that point, So instead of getting, I was annoyed, and I was like, ugh. Because I wanted to get this one done. And so hopefully this one will come out, will be an easier process. But I'm going to clarify this now for you, and for those that want it clarified, and for those of you who feel like, no, I'm good. And please do like and comment, and consider subscribing if you resonate. And for those of you who want the clarity, more clarity, here I go. This is, I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS, and this is something that I started in 2007, and I completed the last painting in 2020. And this is I'm getting ready to bring it out, but I want to first make sure that I have the information correct to go with it. The numbers on these cards are representing the order of the numbers of the paintings on my website at talesfromthevector.com. So you can go there and you can take a look at the paintings if you want, and you'll know which ones they are. It'll be in the description box below. I'll put them in the order that they come out here. So we do have the energy here of the first card out is disruption. So someone was trying to disrupt the energy that you were in. If you were well on your path and you were healing from this, and you were wanting, you were starting to feel better. If you felt this disruption coming in, a lot of people are experiencing this. It's not just you. So just be okay with that. And this is talking about the Libra energy. And so this is about being a mature adult and recognizing that maybe when you first got into this relationship that didn't work out, that maybe you weren't quite mature enough, or your partner wasn't, to understand what a commitment of marriage is really about. And that's, that this is a learning curve. And we have Libra is the scales of justice. And it's basically when people are mature enough to make commitments that are substantial like this. And this is about being able to anticipate the future instead of having expectations of the way things will go. And the Libra energy is also ruled by Venus, which is what I just said, moved into the sign of Aries on March the 6th. And that energy is making people a lot more assertive in what they want in their love life, which is a good thing. It's good to know what you want. And then we have justice coming in on some level here. So this is saying that you deserve to have this leadership, and that you've put the time and the energy and you're working on the healing. So this new energy coming in is going to be a blessing for you. And we have the Magician. So this is talking about an energetic upgrade. So I feel that maybe when you sorted through this, when you finally got it home, after putting the burdens down, you realized there was quite a bit here. And you actually do have a strong foundation for moving forward that you can work with here. As far as the pentacles go, because we have the Empress energy coming in. So recognizing the Empress is all four queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And this is someone who's very, very good at being in a position to manifest. And the energy also can represent that she's pregnant with possibility, the Empress. The Empress in my oracle is actually a beautiful dragon, Angers, and she's the crystal queen. And she's the one who laid all the eggs for the crystals. Her whole spine is made up of crystals, and she's got hundreds of different kinds of crystals on her. And she laid all the eggs that made the veins for the crystals on the planet. And eventually she always wanted a child, and she couldn't accomplish that. Every time she hatched an egg, the egg would be another crystal. And then eventually she finally did have an actual baby dragon. And she was thrilled. And so this is talking about staying on path. That was her job, is to bring those crystals to earth. And so this Empress energy is saying that like a lot of the burdens that you go through, sometimes it's kind of like learning from the competition, learning from this energy. It raises your vibration and raises your vibration to the point where you are now like at this Empress energy. Now the Empress can represent pregnancy. And so not just being pregnant with possibilities, but actual pregnancy. And that could be like saying what happened in your relationship, that there was just confirming this energy. And it's also saying that when you're ready, you will have that opportunity yourself. This is talking about the manifester. And again, it's about being able to manifest on the planet Earth. And so this is talking, don't juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And then this is deception. So yes, this is right on this card. So it's saying there was deception in your relationship. Kiss me good. This is talking about, there being other people in your vicinity that were invested in having a relationship with your, even if it was just one of lust, with your partner. And then we have, and that he or she gave in to the temptation. Remember, the Empress and Emperor energy, these are, or any of the of the cards in the tarot are archetypes. And so they are not gender specific. So they represent masculine and feminine energy, not male and female. And so we have the abuse of power is one of the karmic spaces that we can easily fall into. And this energy is talking about, karma. A lot of people think, oh, karma is punishment, but karma is actually the cause and effect of your actions. And so when karma is coming in, it can be directly from you, like your own actions, but it can also be the actions indirect from your ancestors and even your descendants. And sometimes it can even just be the people you associate with, like your partner. If he's hanging out with this energy and then you're also with him, this is abuse of power. So this is one of the karmic spaces that a lot of people fall into. And this abuse of power is when someone feels that they can get away with it because you love them so much that, they abuse your kindness, basically. And they just, they'll never know. And even if they do, they'll take me back. Maybe you've taken this person back in the past and, this time you're not. And so this is talking about, then there's some Virgo energy from the external forces. Yeah, so the external forces, you're not saying, what if this happens? You're saying, what the F happened? So that's EF, external forces. And so Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, and this is communication gone awry, basically. And that's why I feel like this energy is shifting for you, especially with Mercury now out of retrograde. And on the 23rd might be a really good opportunity for you to really get to some sort of truth. I want to point out, when the horoscope cards come up in my reading, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the quality of the sign and the state of being, and sometimes like the energy of the stage of life. And so it's not really about an age, but more like that energy. You could be in the Libra energy and mature enough to have commitment at the age of 20, or you might be 50 and you still don't. It's that kind of energy. And so these signs you may be like, no, those are the signs. And in your reading, that could be for you. Correct. Use your intuition on that. But I want to make it really clear that that's not my intention. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just looking at what can we learn from each of the strengths and weaknesses of the signs. And then, there was a scotoma, or a surrender, sorry. You had to surrender your will to God's will, basically. And so when this happens, sometimes, how they say, there's a saying that God never gives you more than you can take. So this is saying that you went and you asked for help, basically, from the Most High, and that came in. And also because you did that and you did the work necessary and you let go of what you need to, then you can move forward now because your karma has been cleared, and the people involved in this energy are going to have to deal with their end of it. Attachment. So this is also a karmic space. And this is the thing, when we get attached to a person or a place or an outcome, that's when we really can, this is the mother of all karmic spaces, because this is an energy where we can really, once we become attached, then we start abusing our power to keep it or keep the person or whatever. And this is transition. So the transition represents when you decided, I'm letting go and I'm going single here. When you made that move, you let go of that attachment, and that attachment allows the karma to play out and for you to be able to move forward in a new way. And then we have, look at the Emperor. So this has elevated you to a whole different level of lifestyle and in every area of your life. And now the energy that you're attracting matches this energy, and it's an Emperor energy. So it's someone who has the qualities of all four kings rolled into one. And there's actually not that many emperors and empresses on the planet. So this is because you're attracting someone that was willing to do the work like you were. So this is awesome energy. And this is talking about being brave and having the integrity to do so, like digging deep. It takes a lot of courage, because you have to face your fears about yourself, and you have to face your fears of being alone, and you have to face what part you played in it. And sometimes some of the worst energy is when you know that you knew but you didn't want to know, so you allowed yourself to be played kind of energy. And that's really hard for a lot of people to admit to themselves. And then there is this energy of the third party energy was totally indifferent to your suffering. They just wanted to win, basically. But this is a blessing for you, because when people go through this, like, we'll find out who's indifferent. If you have something like this happen, and there's a lot of gossip in that, and there's a lot happening, and then you decide, okay, I'm walking away from it, you will find out who is for you and who's against you. That's the one good thing about divorce, is it shows you who your friends are and who they are not. And then we have the trauma. So this is saying, yeah, you're done with trauma in your life. You want someone that matches your energy. And that's what you're not willing to settle for anything less than that. And so this is saying, life's a slice, hold the drama, been there, done that, don't need to go through that again. And because you have that attitude, this attraction is coming in, and it's on its way. So this is really good energy for you, Pisces. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading. Please do give it a like and comment if you have. I really appreciate it. It helps me build my channel. And also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. And now I'll see how long it takes me to upload this video. Hopefully it's way sooner than the last one. Bye for now, Pisces. Okay, kitty. You're being loud. Do you want your supper, huh?